servant of the Lord, here on assignment this morning to serve you. Again, this is always a part of an ongoing conversation that we are about to have, that you should be having with the Lord. So, as we're talking about it, it should resonate with you. And you should also go back to the Lord and ask Him what it is that He wants you to be able to do with it. So, if you're new to this channel, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. So, I want to talk today just about the peace of God, the God of peace. Been in such a place today where I have such a peace in the Lord. And it is because I've seen the work that He's done in me. Just take some time to reflect on the work that God has done in you. Like, you are not the same. The way you speak, the way you act, the way you move, the way you do things, like, it has changed and is changing and will continue to change the more that you lean into it. I look at myself and I'm just such a different person today, even than I was yesterday, as I'm leaning into this process and really desiring to become all that God desires me to become. I'm becoming. And because I've seen all the work that He's done, I know that God is at work. Because you see all the work that God has done in you, you see how much you changed. No, God is at work. You may be frustrated, you may be irritated because you don't feel like you are making movement and progress in the way that you want to. You don't feel like God's moving the way you want Him to do in your life, but He's moving exactly the way how He needs to move in this season of your life. He's moving in you. He's moving through you. See, you want the work to happen, to be done outside of you, but the work in this season is within you, and it's working because you see it. Because you know that God is working in you, you can trust that God is working on your life. God is doing the same thing with every aspect of your being and every aspect of your life, and you can trust that. I want you to just think about where you were 6 months ago, where you were a year ago, where you were at 2 years ago. Would you have wanted to enter into all that God has for you without having gone through the training, the preparation, receiving the wisdom, even the knowledge about yourself, even about coming into who you truly are? God doesn't want you to either. God doesn't want you to enter into all that He has for you when He still has much to do with you to prepare you for it. So when I get into this place and I realize, all that God has done with me, all that God continues to do with me, and how far I've grown and how much I will continue to grow, I trust in God because I understand that God's not just about giving me more of material items, right? More of these things of the world. He wants to give me, my true self, reveal myself in Him, and to root me and establish that. He wants to give me Himself. See, God has your house, your car, your family, your relationships, your ministries, your money. He has all of that. It is not a hard thing for God. God is not sitting back and wondering how he's going to make that happen. The earth and the fullness of it belongs to God. The universe is at his command. The I am is sovereign over all. He has that. He's working on you, and he still has more work to do in you. So allow him in this time to be able to do the work. You could still go throughout your day, and as you interact with people, as you live, as you are, you could see that there's more fine tuning that needs to be done, more refining that needs to be done in your response to other people, in your private thoughts, in your conduct, in your behavior, in your speech, in your diet, in your movements, in your perspectives, in your mindset. There's still a work that needs to be done in your heart. There's still a work that needs to be done in your soul. And it's not to say that you'll ever be complete, but God wants to get you to a point where he establishes you and he roots you in that which he desires you to get to, so you can move forward in the direction that he has for you in such a way in which you will be prosperous and have success, and you won't work against you. See, once when you see all the work that God is doing with you and can acknowledge that, it can give you this peace, and it could change your prayers, right? It could change your focus. You're no longer praying and saying, God, give me the house. God, give me the car. God, will you pay my bills? God, will you do this? God, will you fix my relationship? God, will you do this? It's understanding that you're going through processing, and you need that processing. It's doing the work. So now your prayers are, God, give me patience to endure the process. God, help me to understand what you're doing in this time. God, help me to have a servant's heart, and help me to love, and help me to be the minister you are molding. God, reveal to me how to be a better person that relates and interacts with other people. God, show me how to wait well. God, help me with really appreciating and valuing what you're doing in this time. And you start looking at, things within yourself that need to change. And you're like, God, help me in those areas. And now you're actually partnering with God for what he wants to be able to do in your life. Instead of just asking for things, now you are in alignment with what God's doing. He's working on you. He's building you. He's changing you. He's transforming you. He's shaping you. He's forging you. So since now you know what God is doing in this time, and you see the result of it, now your prayers can align with what God is doing, and you can co-partner with him, co-create within yourself, right? Which is so beautiful. This is where God wants us at. I have all of that. I want to show you more. There's so much more I want to do with you before I release you. Just give me the time so that I can do it. Just trust that I've got all that, and I'm working all of that out right now, just as I'm working all of that out in you. So today, this is how you rest in God. There is nothing too hard for God. This is how you have peace in God. I mean, even your prayers, you'll notice the more you rest in God and have peace in God and come into alignment with who God is and who you are in relation to God and what it is that he's doing, your prayers will be so much more peaceful. They won't be anxious and worried and full of worry and despair. It'll be this release that says, God, I know you're taking care of it. I just want to thank you for it, because I know it's already happening. So come into alignment with what God is doing with you right now. And that is the work within your very heart, within your very soul, within your body, within your spirit. Direct your prayers towards that, and your attention and your focus in that, and know that it's working, because it is. You see the change, and come into alignment with that. Partner with God. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. If you want to donate, please feel free to do so on my front page. Love y'all.